My unfaithful fiance tried to convince me her affair was a test, so I broke up. Come back to the beginning with me? 4 months before our wedding yesterday, my fiancé and I met at the venue to finalize plans. She drove straight from work, so we took separate cars to the event. After our meeting, she requested if I could drive her home after her friend dropped off a rental car. Since it wasn't far from our house and I knew her, I went. Consented without thinking. Upon going home, I tried to reach her for 3 hours. No response. I texted her friend around 1:30 to check on her. My anxiety was high. My fiancé comes home, apologizes for the delay, and says she spent time with a friend before leaving. And not a big deal, just let me know next time. Sorry I couldn't attend, I didn't get to meet your fiancé tonight. And her friend wrote back later. I questioned her motives, and she left saying she didn't understand she couldn't control her friend's statements. I'm exhausted. I never investigated her phone records before, but I'm glad I did. I saw her call her friend, who texted me immediately after she went outside. I also saw a long call from an unfamiliar number on the way to the venue. I wanted to know where they hired their car, among other questions. Her comments were quick and sincere. I thought to myself, maybe I'm going nuts. I should relax and sleep. I apologized for interrogating her the night before and asked her to read her friend's text message asking her to pick her up this morning. Her reply was negative. I noticed you were on the phone yesterday when we met on the way to the venue. Who was it? Oh, that's the friend I picked up later, she said. I knew she lied then. I denied it after analyzing her phone records. She changed course and stated, oh, I had to meet up with a colleague to talk about a patient. Who is that colleague? Before asking, why couldn't we just talk about it over the phone? I should certainly explain the approaches in person. His name is Michael. Yes, I understand. Totally exhausted. Always tell each other the truth. I requested the texts with Michael. She said I couldn't see. Why not? Because there's nothing to hide. Have you cheated? Do you no longer want togetherness? She then lists my flaws after a pause. Work consumes me. My time is insufficient. Unresponsive. I'm stunned. This is completely unknown to me. After putting the pieces together, I can see something's wrong. I requested the texts again. Half an hour later. After much coaxing, I received these texts, which were crazy and sexual and full of trash about me, her yearning to be with them, and their undeniable love. He is 15 to 20 years her senior, divorced, and the father of multiple children. She has worked there for 1.5 months. I have supported her financially for months while she recovers and works extra to avoid a part-time job. We live with 3 dogs and 1 horse. I'm humiliated by the book. We were getting married in 4 months, so any guidance would be very welcome. This was unexpected. Revision 1:1. Just an update. I finally met with her tonight to discuss this. She entered the room again to blame me. I convinced myself that not communicating and listening directly caused the dishonesty and deceit. If I had listened better, she said, she wouldn't have had to approach him. Being busy prevents me from giving her the attention she deserves. To avoid her having to work part-time to support the family, I told her I was working extra hours. It's odd that she wanted part-time job. She thought we could get past this since it was only a week, and they only made out once. She dodged my questions about her text, blasted me, and discussed our sexual relationship. But I got no response. I assured her that I am not responsible. She should have consulted me or weighed the repercussions before acting so rashly. I will never trust her again because of her behavior. She can choose to make me appear awful. I finished this segment by saying, listen, we need to sort out our shared house and the 3 dogs. Things calmed down. My choice was to stay and buy her out or sell and move on. All of us will get a TV for our dogs. The progress will be updated, but we left off tonight. Your thoughts on the house are interesting. I can cover it, but she bought 3,000 square feet of property to keep her horse. Before leaving, she'll board the horse at a stable. I had a 3-hour conversation with her tonight, the 3rd day. We talked about our past and its culmination. It started when she criticized my dating mistakes. Isolation and excessive work and phone use. None of these annoy me. Serving my family drove me to work hard. Family. A 24-hour online store with one-man customer service is my side gig. I'm always working. I should have put down my phone the night before and been more responsive the next day. I had no notion she was unhappy, because we didn't communicate, illustrating both sides' issues. It was never mentioned to me. She said she didn't let me work on it, because she was worried I'd get furious. I most surely am. Not perfect, and she often misinterprets my words and behavior. I was helping her with a budget and financial strategy a week or 2 ago. I do this for banking consumers all the time. She promised to repay me $1,000 with her next paycheck. I'll explain my money transfers to our joint account. I think it's more. More than $5,000 was spent. I didn't want to drag her down, but I wanted her to see my impact. Her impression was that I was trying to embarrass her. Maybe my timing was off, but I just wanted to help. I worried about our financial stability. She thought I'd been too focused on money. Going into budget. Overwhelmed attempting to save enough for the still expensive wedding. Her persistence on blaming me for her conduct irritates me. She is shocked that I wasted 7 years of our relationship. She threw it away after several reminders. She advised keeping this private. I told too many people too soon. She also said she wouldn't have approached someone else if I had been a better listener and communicator. I've realized how big this is after reading everything. They started talking 2 weeks before the viaduct text. Maybe they'd never met outside of work, but he asked her to the park to play basketball and speak. He and she made out after meeting him. I honestly don't think it's advanced yet. My prediction is that it will happen soon. He is not my boyfriend, she says. She disappeared tonight. So I don't know if she's with him or a girlfriend. This living arrangement is awkward, so I hope it gets resolved quickly. I think she'd rather I apologize and rejoin her. I thought chronic communication breakdown was the main issue. We became used to a routine and let this situation linger for too long, pretended to be. Instead of talking to me, lied to me, and circulated rumors. Her deception makes me wonder I'll trust her again. Despite being the easiest thing, I doubt I would ever enjoy doing this. Since I found the cause, I feel better. I'll improve my character and communication skills and gain a new perspective, even if nothing else comes of it. Today I started going to the gym frequently and will. I also plan to study for the CFP certification to maintain my mental wellness. Missed a week of work. I called the wedding venue today to cancel. Unless the date can be resolved to an unlikely party, we recovered some money but lost some. Also, I made sure her parents were informed. They're uneasy due of their distance. I keep reassuring them that their daughter is secure and not to worry. I checked, and current interest rates make it impossible to find a flat cheaper than my mortgage. I'll never locate a comparable property. I think buying her portion and helping her find a flat is better. She appears pleasant now. We'll conduct an assessment to see whether I can put down half the equity. Appraiser inspect the property. Has this changed your mind? Am I handling this correctly? What am I missing to cause this? Third update. The past month has been hectic, stressful, and interesting, and I'm almost due an update from everyone. As hard as it is to admit, I was a sad wreck pleading to get back with this cheating pose after this episode. However, I had to continue. I tried to do the right thing and improve my situation but failed while vulnerable. Her option was between me and him, and she chose him correctly. At that point, I realized I needed to prioritize myself and stop letting my self-esteem drop. After 7 years, self-focus is hard, caring for others, but I've been doing it since. I now see our pooled savings accounts in my checking account. After calculating my due, I sent half to our joint account for her. Since then, I exercise regularly. Improving my look makes me joyful and makes me feel like I went suit shopping, got a massage, or spent time with family. This link was cutting me off from my family, which should have been a warning flag, but I ignored it. Recognize it. Selfish only. I wouldn't shop for clothes. I was constantly worried about my cigarette partner and animals. I've started weekly treatment for the first time. I find it helpful to discuss decisions. Even after this event, I will likely keep improving myself if I am devoted. Big news, my ex-housemate and I still live together. The only thing we can discuss is if the dogs were fed while she is asleep in the guest room. Despite my words, she would always blame me for her bad behavior. Accusing someone of communication challenges and then using it to avoid telling me how she feels and cheat demonstrates dishonesty and lack of self-control. Her unreasonableness made me give up. Reason with her. I have been meticulously listing the house for sale. The expected sale price was good, so I contacted an agency. She then wants me to solicit opinions from 2 other agents. One was suggested by her partner. I called everyone, scheduled everything, and met with them. Relations have always been like way, despite its unfairness. I will do anything to leave this place. We chose the first agent after meeting with all 3. After Sunday photos, the residence was listed on Sunday night. The open house is next Saturday. Interest in the resites is high. She plans to move the horse to a stable. I said I'd take one or none of the dogs. She hinted she would accompany all 3 to maintain harmony. I wouldn't argue about who keeps one if it causes them to drift apart, because they're a couple. Happy bunch. For my egotistical pleasure, it allows me start over. I met someone unexpectedly a week ago and we've been spending a lot of time together. I have no high expectations, yet spending time with her is fun. Because she went through something similar, she has been a huge help. Talking to a strong, independent woman was enlightening. It revealed my ex-boyfriend was narcissistic, needy, and manipulative. Long ago, I should have heeded my friend's warnings. Stuck in a habit trapped me. It was comfy, but I didn't like it. Great animals, huge acreage, and lovely home I didn't want to cause a stir. After that, I kept going. Without time to consider, this won't hit you. Some may call it a waste of time, but I see it as an opportunity to improve. Future me will pay greater attention to warning indicators. The simplicity trap won't affect me. I will always contact family. Finally, thanks to everyone who commented on my first post. Your support means everything. Not knowing what to do, I wrote on Reddit. You guys are amazing for helping a Reddit stranger. Every comment helped me get here, and I read them all. Whatever the future brings, I am thrilled to start a new chapter. I appreciate everyone so much. Fourth, revision recently. I regret for the delay in updating everyone. Amazingly, this happened almost 4 months ago. Everything has improved with time, and I hope that anyone in a similar situation might find comfort in the fact that time heals all wounds. I lived with my ex-roommate until mid-May. While knowing my life was over, being with her and the dogs was heartbreaking. We were housemates but disliked each other. Despite my efforts, I couldn't escape her. Even though we slept in different bedrooms, the dogs could come and go at night, open doors. After the first few weeks at her old home, She hardly left bed, but the constant calling and texting did not. I think they stayed. Friendship over romance. I didn't think much about asking, so I can't say. She and 2 of the 3 dogs left mid-May. It was awful to say goodbye. My pain was like losing a loved one. During my last month, I visited a dog park with my ex-girlfriend and our 2 dogs several times. Even though they were happy to see me and recognized me, I felt better knowing they were surviving well without me. Other than checking on the dog's acclimatization, nothing else happened. Contact the ex. She moved to a rundown neighborhood. The dog's garden was unfenced. She was painstakingly finishing the fence, I was told. At this time, I went to the gym daily. I also worked hard on my side gig. I wanted to be ready since things would get expensive. I made 6 figures from this side gig from March to June 15th, when I left. I made no large purchases either. This and the money from selling my old home helped me save a lot. This allowed me to buy a property in a nice community with room for my dog to run. Buying the new house was a nightmare, but selling the old one was easy. I rented my old house since the sellers were polite. Back from them till June 15th was a tremendous relief. I bid on 5 homes by May, with the last one accepted. Being away from home is amazing. Since my ex-girlfriend left with the other 2 dogs, I've been haunted by that place. A strangely empty place. The move was difficult, but family helped a lot. Since I've been here a month, it feels more like home every day. My official girlfriend is, same woman I still see. Having moved closer to her is excellent. Her kindness makes me feel lucky to have her in my life. She helped me through this and has been aware of my need for space and emotional changes. Being around someone with great communication abilities is improving my communication skills. My emotional intelligence has also improved. Everything is fine. Despite it being one of my hardest experiences, I'm glad. My spouse would be a self-centered whore. I tolerated my misery since I was happy with my life and didn't want to upset my animals or lose my home. To keep improving my character and discovering my true desires. My dedication to giving my dog the best life will never falter. I think about my ex-partner often, both good and bad. My new therapist's prediction that she won't apologize was crucial. She refuses to admit her mistake. My ex and I have barely spoken. She and the other 2 dogs will never return to my life. Which is better for all? I've agreed. Leave a comment and I'll gladly answer any questions or mention anything I missed. This matter is over, so I won't post about it. I appreciate your support and encouragement throughout this ordeal.